Welcome to a brand new episode of the DFINITY Pill podcast. My name is Alex, and actually today we have the team behind the numbers. Of course, it's NFT Geek. Welcome, and thank you very much for accepting our invitation. Before we start, I want to congratulate you on the work behind NFT Geek. It's hands down the best statistics platform for ICP NFT, so congratulations for that. Could you guys please tell us more about your team members?
Yeah, sure. I'll start maybe with an intro. I'm Aya. I'm running operations and finance, and we as a team are working for 15 years already. We've been developing social networks in pre-Facebook dominant era. So those social networks were really popular in the locations when we were running them. It was Baltics, which is in Europe, 3 small countries, one of the largest in Russia, and one of the largest social network in Poland. And so as a team, especially as a tech team, we learned a lot. And in 2010, we decided to become a privately owned investment company to run the company with the specific approach to our investment that we invest only in startups we understand, which is similar tech startups, B2C startups based on communities. So we were very hands-on on product development and helping a lot of good companies to become even better. So yes, as a team, we're working together like for 15 years, and currently we are 6 people in the team. So I am and another girl, we're kind of running back office. And then we have 3 technical guys that became really gurus in Motoko and maybe Rust as well. And Dmitry is our product guru and guy. He knows a lot about analytics and numbers, how to show them and what to get from them.
I think when people think about NFT Geek, I don't think they imagine that there is such a big team behind it. It's the go-to website for statistics, I think. I think everybody gets their numbers from there.
Yeah, and this was the idea. We wanted to add more transparency into the space. What we've seen is that there is really not enough transparency, and a lot of people were asking like how to get more data about what's happening with certain collections, like how many holders there are, how many people minted, what is the average price. And there is this data in the canister, but you need to be at least a little bit technical to get the data. And we decided to make this data available for anyone. Yeah, and that's so basically our first version was made, I think, in like a few days as an internal hackathon. So just over the weekend, we developed like the first prototype where we showed all the minting information. And then it just people were asking for more and more features, and we were thinking, okay, like why not? Because we have the resources and technology needed to just add much more analytics and give much more transparency.
And I can't wait to see what else you guys will add to your software. But why did you decide to come on Internet Computer with this project?
Everything started a few years ago when we were introduced to DFINITY by Cedric from Tomahawk. We know Cedric from our traditional business, so we are co-investors in one of our portfolio companies, and we've been working successfully, and we have this connection with Cedric. And so since we were in the beginning of Web 2.0, we were kind of pioneers developing social networks. We understood that if this is going to happen, if Internet Computer will be launched, then it will be the beginning of Web 3.0 era. And we have this understanding of what is needed and how to support the projects that are willing to build something. So that's how we end up looking at it. And since we have our technical team, quite savvy people in our team, they looked at the technology when it became available and understood that indeed this is something which is really close to Web 3.0 possibilities, but this is more like technical stuff which Dmitry can add up.
Yeah, so we've researched and realized, yes, that so first of all we really like the vision, and then the technology is great, There are some, of course, some issues, but like any technology has issues. So we were following from I think day one, from the mainnet launch from the day one. And then we were thinking what could be our niche on the internet computer. And we decided that we want to use our experience in product development, and we decided to create a set of different tools to help the whole ecosystem. Because what we've seen is that there are a lot of young projects who not necessarily have all the required resources from the day one. And if there are some tools available in the market, it just can save them time and money, and they can focus on their product instead of some tools around it. This is the niche we wanna fill.
You guys mentioned that you have 3 developers that have learned Motoko. Where do you suggest new developers go to learn Motoko?
This is the question we need to ask our developers. Yeah, but I think there is enough resources right now. If we have any issues, we just use the forum, and I think there was like 0 cases when we couldn't find an answer to our questions.
Yeah, so for everybody who stumbles across like a problem, there is a solution somewhere on the internet.
Yeah, and I can even say that if you have any questions, you can just ask us, and we are really glad to help. And sometimes it's already happening. People are asking about some concrete specific issues they have. So, and there is a possibility that we already know the answer.
And you guys are friendly, like you're not going to hold the secret to yourselves.
Of course not. We won't hold the secrets. Yes, we are friendly.
Awesome. Right now on NFT Geek, like there is information on NFT collections. In the future, if Internet Computer will decide on a token standard and tokens will start appearing on ICP, will NFT Geek host data on tokens as well?
Yeah, theoretically we can do it. And we already have a feedback from our community that people are asking the same question, actually. We'll see. We'll see, because if there is a technical possibility to do it, I think we can definitely do it. Because our analytics engine, it already proved that it can handle NFT analytics. So having token analytics as well, definitely possible.
You're a lot more technical than I am. What's the big deal with the token standard? Why can't we have a token standard and just get on with it and start like DeFi? And
it's a difficult question. For me, it's easier to answer on the NFT standards, maybe, because for the last few months, we were really deep into NFTs. And for NFTs, I think we are really in the very beginning of the journey. And there are a lot of projects who are trying new things, and they're trying to fix some issues other standards had, and they just trying to build the best standard possible. So I think at some point 1 or maybe 2 or maybe 3 standards will dominate. But for now, I think we're just experimenting what is really needed, because each standard has its own pros and cons, and each marketplace right now uses basically its own standard. They do it because they want to make it better and give more possibilities to NFT creators to launch better products with better features, maybe. And at some point, I think there will be few who will dominate, but we are not there yet. So we are really in the very beginning.
Okay, so pretty much everybody thinks that their standard is the best, and they don't want to use the other one's standard.
I'm not sure, because I haven't talked with everyone. But it seems so from the side. From our point of view, there are pros and cons in every standard, and I think they do it for a reason. They have some plans in mind, like how the NFT market should work. So they add certain features which are necessary for their vision.
But eventually, I believe that community will decide. So it's a really live organism, so to say. So it's like the best will win, the most suitable and most comfortable for running the business and launching the projects or NFTs will be adopted.
But I think that the community couldn't tell the difference. The normal consumer of ICP wouldn't know the difference between a standard and the other one. I personally think that this is the decision of the developers on the Internet Computer.
By the community, I mean those who will be working with the protocols.
Yeah, it's not only the NFT holders, it's also the developers and collection creators or NFT creators. It's also the people who will build the products around maybe different collections. Because, for example, in one standard, you can use it for a game, let's say, but in the other standards, there's something missing. And then as a NFT creator, you will choose what suits you best. And maybe in the end, the standard which just has all the necessary features for the majority of use cases will win.
You guys mentioned since you created NFT Geek, you kept on like adding on top of it. And are there any major features that you're looking to implement to NFT Geek right now?
Currently, we are working on adding as many collections as possible because there are really a lot of marketplaces appearing. We really want to add more dynamics into data. So today we released the new version where you can see the difference in numbers between different periods. So just, like today is 10% more transactions than yesterday. It kind of adds a bit of dynamics into the data.
So it's going to be easier for people like, for example, Avocado Research, to make his graphics. Do you know if he's taking his numbers from your website?
We don't know, but I think a few times he definitely did it. And yeah, so we were talking with him from time to time, and his feedback is really valuable for us. So he's a great guy.
Well, because we're talking about Avocado, I think, for sure, that he launched an NFT collection. Is there ever going to be an NFT Geek NFT collection?
We're definitely considering this, especially having such a hype on Internet Computer. Before we launch it, we definitely need to understand why we do this. So there could be potentially 3 reasons, or all 3 reasons together. So this is financing that you would like to have for your project. The second could be some utility that you are willing to have, and also some sort of a gratitude to a lawyer users. If we definitely see that there are lawyer users already for NFT Geek, we're still thinking of financing possibilities, and especially for the potentially the set of utilities that we can attach to NFTs.
Yeah, we really want to add utility, and utility should really align with our vision and not the opposites. We want to have a vision, we want to go to it, and then the NFT should be only a tool, only one of the tools actually to get us to the end goal. Not just, launching an NFT and then we'll think about, how can we use it? So we want to create the utility first.
Totally. And I think when you will implement like a big update or something, that's going to give you an edge over everybody else in terms of like NFT trading and whatnot. That advantage you can only have if you own the NFT Geek NFT, for example. That would be a great utility. So like you see like what's starting to move or something. So I think this would help a lot of people get the edge necessary to be able to trade NFTs. Besides NFT Geek, are you guys working on any other projects?
Yeah, and NFT Geek was not our first project on Internet Computer. As I mentioned, for 10 years, we've been working as investors, and the additional value that we were proposing to our portfolio companies was a really hands-on approach to product development. Internally, we created a software for product analytics, which is used by many of our portfolio companies and used successfully. So we had this experience in data-driven approach to the product development, and the major idea for us was to propose this tool to the projects that are launching on Internet Computer. So we started with UserGig, and actually UserGig is completely built on Internet Computer. So everything is built using Motoko. And then we launched it. We really like it, but we understand that the market is not ready yet because there are not that many projects on Internet Computer, and those projects, they do not have that many users to track and to analyze and build funnels and whatever have you for successful product development. And then the second was Canister Geek. Maybe Dmitry will tell more about this one.
Yeah, Canister Geek was the second one, and we actually simply open source the tool we use internally for checking user geeks' cycles and memory. At some point, we were tired to track it manually, So we just implemented a monitor to track cycles and memory consumption. And then we realized that a lot of people are actually having the same issue, and they would like to use such a tool. And we simply open sourced it, and the feedback was really great. We already had few iterations of adding more features based on the community feedback. Basically, User Geek is a more product-oriented tool. Canister Geek is more tech-oriented, or oriented on developers maybe. And right now we are working on third tool, which will also be in a product development area, and it's gonna be a remote configuration system, also fully built and deployed on the internet computer, and it will allow you to run different experiments or switch some features on and off if they are not working properly, or make some A/B testing, for example. It's one of the really most needed features, again based on the feedback from our community. So we will have 3 product development tools and the NFT Geek. And I'd like to add to one of the previous questions about the NFT Geek as well, regarding the features we are working on and the next features we're going to release. We are working on adding as many collections as possible, because it's number one request from the community. Why don't you guys have these collections from this marketplace? So we want to add all of those. But in general, we are thinking about 2 directions. One is to give more tools to NFT holders, traders, collectors. And the second direction is to give more tools to NFT creators. For example, some snapshotting tool where you can just have a snapshot of users who were, let's say, minted your collection and then hold it until now, so they haven't sold it. So to just have the loyal users, and then you can use this information to reward them somehow, or use in some contests maybe.
That's actually a very good tool, because usually NFT collections are looking for people that have held their collections for a long time. And actually, every time we needed info on our holders, we had to check with Entrepot, and then it would take many more days than if we had a tool to do it. So that's actually a very good tool.
Yeah, exactly. So and all of the tools we are thinking about are based on the idea that there are a lot of projects who simply don't have enough resources to do it themselves. And by saving them time and then maybe money, we'll make it better for the whole ecosystem, because they can move way faster using the tools already available on the market.
And they can build better products because they are focused on the product.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I actually remember after we launched the collection, I needed to get a list of something, and I had an Excel with 10,000 NFTs, and I had to go through each and every one of them to see the holders or how many holders we had, and that was crazy, and it took me a couple of hours, whereas if somebody knew what he was doing, it probably took a couple of minutes, or if we had your tool, probably a couple of seconds. So definitely, is it live or is it?
Yeah, so for holders, or all the data which is available right now, you can just find the export button. So all the tables are exportable to the CSV. We were thinking about adding, more options, what exactly you want to extract or snapshot, meaning that you can have different scenarios, maybe people who hold it and only accumulated more NFTs, or people who were selling less than buying, for example. There could be many options, or people who were holding for a specific period of time, let's say from the day one, or more than 3 months, or whatever else.
That's great. And one more thing, if you can add it, so that you can see the NFTs if they're not listed on a marketplace. I think that would be great as well.
It could be also one of the options in this wizard or editor.
Definitely great tool. You guys have all the data and you saw all the collections. Do you have any advice for new NFT projects that decide to launch their collection on the internet computer?
From my point of view, I don't know, maybe Dmitry will add something from the data perspective and how better to do that. But for sure, if you're planning to launch NFT collection, think about the problem that you're trying to solve. So for many collections, we see that it's really raw, and there may be idea or maybe really good visual, but there's not a proper roadmap behind that and the great vision. What you're going to do with that, and how it's going to help to solve some problems that you feel.
Yeah, and I think that in the future, so right now NFTs are pictures, but in the future it will translate into NFTs that have utility. I don't know how close it is, but maybe in the future, let's say, for example, you want to buy a house and you don't have to go and do papers. You will just sell the house deed as an NFT, and I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, I think a lot of new use cases for NFTs will arise, especially when people are trying to solve some specific problem that they have and a lot of people have. If NFT is the great way, the best way, or the only way to solve this problem, I think it will be the great utility, it will be the great use case, and it can change the whole ecosystem and industry of NFTs.
Totally. But we couldn't start with like house deeds and whatnot. We had to start with CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club so that everybody hears about NFTs. Cool. I have a fun question for you. Do you have a top 3 favorite NFT collections? And if you do, what do you think makes them stand out from the rest?
Yeah, I am totally new to NFT, and considering my fundamental background, I'm economist, and I'm coming from a traditional investment business, so definitely trading is not for me. And I always, when I invest, I search for economic substance. So this is something totally new. And therefore, I just started, but I invested in those 3 that I have. Maybe those are top of my list. I really like boxy dudes because of how they look. And I thought that, well, if I buy 1 and I get eventually 3, this is a good investment. Why not? So I also like DCT because of how houses look and how I believe they can evolve into really nice cities. And of course, I need to mention also Feminiverse because of the girls' power.
Yeah, definitely. I actually have a couple of Feminiverse myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I have just 1, but I decided to keep it 1 because I was lucky. It reminds me a little bit of myself. The only thing is that I have a girl with a vibe, or how do you call it, with a cigarette?
With a vape or
Vape.
a vape?
Vape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't smoke. I don't support it. Being tolerant, but not tolerant to that. So.
Yeah. And you, Dimitri?
It's really hard to say like top 1, top 3, or even top 10. For me, any collection or like any NFT which has some utility already is kind of on my list. So I won't tell you exactly some collections, but yeah, I really like the collections which have some vision and the utility which helps to get to that vision.
From your data, can we find something that, for example, helped like BTC Flower like explode and go like over any other collection that was on ICP, or what do you think was behind it?
I think it was the combination of a lot of factors. Like they had a pretty good marketing. They had the interesting approach when you like don't know which BTC Flower you has. So like they started with the seeds, and then people were trading the seeds and trying to be lucky and without knowing what's inside the seed. And then yes, just I think maybe a combination of marketing, the approach, and the value, meaning that I think it's almost from the day 1, or maybe even from the day 1, the team behind the BTC Flowers, they were telling that it's for the Flower Power DAO. So right now we can see that they're moving into this direction. So they're really building what they promised.
Definitely, and I think nobody expected what was to happen. And actually, what happened when BTC Flower like exploded, like all other collections would go up as well. And I think it's a very good addition to the ICP ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly. I think we need more collections which will bring more like fresh money to the ecosystem. So I think it's what happened with the BTC Flowers as well. So they attracted a lot of fresh money, and then people got the liquidity, and they just decided, okay, now I have enough money to buy collection I always wanted to buy. And by making money on the BTC Flowers, they were buying other collections as well.
Yeah, definitely. And how early do you think we are now in the ICP NFT ecosystem?
Oh, we are very early, I think.
It's Wild West now.
Yeah. No, I was looking through your website, and actually, like, the BTC Flower has a market cap of like 4 million, which in crypto terms, I think it's nothing. Like on other blockchains, like they go like in the hundreds of millions and in the billions. So we're extremely early. Is there anything else you would like to share about NFT Geek or any other project?
Yeah, I'd like to use this opportunity to thanks all our community for the feedback they provide us, and to tell one more time that we are really listening to the feedback, and a lot of features, and actually the whole NFT Geek and the half of the Canister Geek tool were built based on the community feedback. So if you have any more feedback, we are here. So I can't promise we will build everything, but I can promise that we will listen and we will try to prioritize. And if it aligns with our vision and long-term plans, we will definitely build it.
Yeah, and to my heart, of course, the dearest project is still User Geek. So I strongly believe that the community will evolve, and we will have a lot of projects, big and nice B2C tech startups that would eventually implement this data-driven approach to the product development. We were granted, we did not receive yet, so it's still in milestones, and we are committing to receive 100K grant from DFINITY. We already got it approved for us, on top of 25K that we already received. So it's definitely, we think that could show also to community that User Geek is safe and you can use it, considering that all the projects that are running on internet computer, of course, adhere the privacy, and it's not the second Google Analytics. It's a really good alternative with a really good treatment from our side in terms of data privacy. I'm really looking forward to the development of the internet computer as such. So
yeah, congrats, and I think everybody can see the hard work that you guys are putting into your projects, and I think everybody loves NFT Geek. NFT Geek is for the massive user base, like everybody can understand it. What I understood is your other projects are more like on the tech side.
For the developers, right?
Yeah, but NFT Geek,
product managers.
NFT Geek is the best. And you guys should probably post like graphs.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really, it's an honor. And when each time we see that somebody is telling that you guys are rock and we really like what NFT Geek does, it's so overwhelming. We cannot describe. It's the feedback that you're getting from the community. It's awesome.
Totally. Once again, congrats, and thank you very much for accepting our invitation and talking to us. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Woo! So that was the NFT Geek team. Great. That was awesome, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what they will keep on building. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share the video with a friend, subscribe, and click the bell icons to stay up to date with all the IC related things. My name is Alex, and you just took the DFINITY Pill. Thank you, and see you next time.